Bart is a man who fights crime, and we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time with John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minutes!
Attention, citizens of fair Gotham, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Forever, the show that has long since gone beyond having a choice in what we do. Don't be like us, please, please, don't do it, don't do it. You'll never forgive yourself. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
And I am wining and dining it up with the fabulous Ritz Movies by Minutes. It is I, Niall McGowan.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into song.
It's where fashion sits, John.
Oh, well. And we are very fashionable indeed. We're so fashionable, we have two wonderful, wonderful guests joining us once again. Who are you?
Murren Kennedy.
Just hello.
I like putting people on the spot.
I always enjoy sort of tumbling into the podcast like a pile of pots and pans or something like that, just tumbling down the stairs.
Isn't that the best way?
Or like Batman.
Or like Batman tumbling in his tumbler through the ceiling. Yes, Batman, yay!
Or Dick Grayson tumbling into the Batcave via that old kung fu flip-floppery parkour movie did.
Well, this is minute 71, and the minute starts with a dick demand, and it ends on Canto Bite.
It's back, baby.
It's back. Everybody's favourite part of that movie. So yes, we are back here as Dick. He demands training. He wants to be partners with the Bat.
This is doing something I guess is kind of unique to the old Batman-Robin dynamic in that a lot of this version of Dick Grayson is based on Jason Todd. And weird enough, when Bruce Wayne took in Jason Todd, it was very accepting of, like, it was kind of his idea. Like, and he was like, yes, and I'm going to train you to be Robin. And that is the way that's going to be. And it's like, so them actually going a different way of like, oh, this guy's kind of based on that. But Bruce is actively, like, rejecting him and trying to, like, keep him at arm's length because he's seen what can become of someone in this lifestyle. It's fair play to them for doing, going their own path with it, basically.
Yeah, I think that's more interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm actually very intrigued as well, though, that they did change something. Again, this all seems to have been sort of written up until shooting, because there are, various scripts of this scene. And the one major difference is that Bruce, as he's trying to talk to Dick about, like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, and blah, 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 blah. In all the drafts, he keeps saying, this isn't about revenge for me. And then Dick, like, there's a framed picture of the Waynes on the wall. And Dick's like, yeah, right, Slick, and kind of nods and acknowledges what, who they are and stuff. And then he walks out. And I appreciate the fact that they changed it because, one, as I think you guys are saying in the last minutes, Dick Grayson doesn't know who the Waynes are because he's not from this town. Like, he wouldn't have known about that story. And two, it's kind of like an impetuous teenage kind of thing to do anyway, where it's all about him. He's like, you wouldn't understand me, man. You don't get me. Your parents were murdered by a maniac. You don't know what I'm going through. And he's not stopped to go, like, why are you Batman? Why are you so dark and tortured? What could you do? Have you been through a similar trauma? He's like, no, you wouldn't know what you're talking about, man. Until Bruce is like, yeah, they were. And hey, check it out. Like, I've got my own problems, kid. Your whole my parents just got murdered by some guy thing, it ain't unique to you. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm assuming that's why the change was made, because it's like it is a bit more of a sort of stroppy teenage thing to do.
Yeah,
but,
which certainly does not work. I know we keep saying this, but it does not work with a man of this age.
No.
It's got to be an actual teen.
I have to ask though, you guys. It's come to my attention that apparently back in the 90s, Chris O'Donnell was considered quite the hunk.
Yeah.
Which is baffling to me because I think he is just dry toast to me. Like, there's no appeal to this guy whatsoever. Are either of you Chris O'Donnell stans in terms of his general sexiness?
No.
No.
Okay, that's a solid no from Jessa. I never gave it much thought. I haven't seen him in. I think I mostly think of him in Scent of a Woman.
Okay.
That's the thing where I saw him first and first came to know about him. And he's just kind of like a stand-in because there needs to be someone for Al Pacino to talk to.
Yeah.
Like he's not what the movie's
Plank
about.
Wood.
It could have been. It wouldn't have made much difference to Al. And then I think, I don't know if I'd seen him in anything else that I can remember.
I just really would love if Al Pacino played Batman in this movie. And everything's just like, well, train me and let me be your partner. Like, how's your skin, kid? Oh, you're going to be my partner, huh?
As he's pulling on the rubber pants, I've got a great ass.
He's just dragging him around the city, forcing him to be his crime fighting partner.
Hey, as well, though, you've got to put yourself back into the mindset of a young person in the mid-90s. Mm-hmm. This dude was hot.
I didn't finish exactly. In watching this last night, I saw it. Like, I think he's pretty good looking. I like his earring, honestly. Like, it's a dated look. Like, he definitely looks like he belongs in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I think he's pretty good looking.
Can we talk about his angled sideburns?
Oh, they're
yes.
also so 90s. I love it.
It's a thing I've never taken into account, but I think Jonathan Howell, he also brought up, like, oh, those sideburns. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize
I
they
remember
were a thing.
They're beautiful. They're wonderful. And, you know, again, that adds to his whole, at the time, sexiness, because I've said this before, but it gives him the whole vibe of he's the boy band member who's a little bit of a bad boy.
He is, yeah.
He's got a motorbike, a leather jacket, cool sideburns, an earring. Yeah.
Have you had to spend much time carving these particular sideburns yourself, Jessa? Or is it a required skill?
Yeah,
I've had a few parents ask
you get
for,
you
like,
get their
New
kids'
Year's-
first haircut.
I've
Like,
had-
can you give them some sideburns?
I had one parent for his first haircut go, can you give me the Yolandi Visser?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
For a baby's first haircut.
Yeah.
That's a great hairdo.
Yeah.
That's I would be on board with that.
Yeah, I was pretty excited that they wanted that. But I've had like some kids who are like, give me anime sideburns, and like that's just kind of what I feel like anime sideburns are just kind of
Is that just like letting your hair grow out so it goes down your face a little bit?
yeah, and you get that little like whoop, like
Oh yeah. Well, in any kind of sideburns, I just always remember this since we discovered it. It's better than none.
yes.
Because that's we were watching. I've always. This is completely off topic, except it's the little bit of connection. But I'm of course fascinated by Nicolas Cage, as many of us are.
Oh, yeah.
In watching, I believe it was National Treasure: Book of Secrets. Or like, why does he look so weird in this? And it's because he has no sideburns in that movie.
Yeah.
He has there. It's just completely bald past the ear.
It's like he's wearing the most bizarre helmet.
He has this weird hair helmet. It's so odd. I don't understand.
Very uncanny valley.
Not even like a little tiny bit. Like I'm
No,
looking
yeah,
at a
go look up a
still
clip of
Jim
it. He
Carrey
has
here.
he has no sideburns,
Like no, there is no,
and it makes
shape
him look like an
there.
alien.
Yeah.
It's like National Treasure was directed by Mr. Burns, so he's like, Cage, I told you to trim those sideburns. Get out! You're off the film for good.
Now available on Disney Plus, which has finally launched in the UK as of recording.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful!
sweet.
I know what I'm not watching tonight.
No, I gave you Disney Plus for free
I'll watch
on
many
the
other things in Disney
proviso
Plus.
that you watch National Treasure.
Oh, you could take it back, John. I'll crumple up your Disney Plus and throw it back in your face.
Wait,
Much as
I'm going to be
Just like the
serious,
Declaration
right?
of Independence, which I'll crumble
Yeah,
up.
screw it. No, I'm going to be serious. That first one, I actually like. It's a good film.
although
Yeah,
I'm
they're-
talking about
pretty fun.
rejection. We do, of course, have then the Bruce Wayne rejecting Dick's suggestion of becoming his partner.
Oh, I
In the-
love, though, that he, for a second, it's like he is genuinely thinking about it. He's given it some real thought, and he's like, you know what? No, I can't do that.
That's also like it's really hinting at a real inner pain in this guy because he's just like, I can't, like I cannot let this happen to you, and it's also very intriguing because this again would tie into what's said at the end because he's saying to Dick like you still have a choice, you can walk away from this, and Bruce if we're to take it as the character was written, he doesn't feel he has a choice because he's got this internalized guilt about his parents' death. and he feels now an obligation to remain as Batman for as long as possible. And then it's only at like the end of the movie when he's confronting Edward Nygma after he's defeated him, he's like, I'm Batman because because I have to be, it's because I choose to be. It's because at this point he's supposed to have gotten over the guilt of his parents' death and whatnot. But the thing is, so this him saying like, you still have a choice and whatnot. It's kind of tying into what's going to be said later on about like Bruce Wayne choosing to be Batman rather than the overwhelming guilt that forced him into it in the first place.
Well, at this point as well, he seems to almost sort of regret turning to Batman for help. And he doesn't want that for Dick, does he? It's like, it's a sad life.
Yeah.
Oh, we get deep on this show.
It's also really weirdly frustrating, though, when Dick's just like, well, I'm going to be part of this whether you want it or not. Because it's just like, yeah, what are you going to do? He is putting him in a position of like, I guess I gotta kill this kid.
That'd be great. He just strangles.
I guess I gotta kill this kid. He's got the parchment. What are we gonna do?
Yes.
It's either I kill him or I commit him to an insane asylum and say like, yeah, he thinks I'm Batman and stuff.
Oh, wait, twist. He plants evidence to get Dick sent off to Arkham, where he, behind bars, turns to crime.
Yeah. Then he comes out as this universe's version of the Red Hood.
Yes,
because that's kind of ties in a weird way there.
Nice. That would be interesting.
Because it is really like when he turns to Alfred, it is almost like, what am I gonna do? Because there's nothing you can do. Like, he's discovered your Batman, and beyond sending him away and convincing people that he's insane, or just killing him, there's nothing he can do now. It's just
kill him. I'll fetch the piano wire, sir.
Not another one.
There's just a pile of bodies at the bottom of the Batcave.
It's like, it's almost up to the walking level now, sir. You can jump on it like a trampoline.
Oh, it's starting.
It makes excellent mulch, sir, for the garden.
Oh. Well, and he would know, because he makes him do all the housework. He'll be doing the garden and everything.
Yeah, Alfred definitely works like 16-hour days.
Minimum.
Poor Alfred.
He's never. I think he's more dutiful than Batman. He's like, oh, I'm on more hours than you are, sir.
Yeah. How often's Batman out patrolling the streets?
Batman's maybe like a 5-hour window in the night, maybe. It's like, when the sun goes, because he can't go out. You don't get Batman at like 9 p.m., do you? Like, it's not gonna. He must be like a post-midnight kind of guy.
Well, certainly not in the summer, because summertime, 9 p.m. Sometimes it's still kind of bright.
Yeah. So I guess he would be like, I suppose his hours just have to change with the seasons. Like whenever the sun goes down, that's when he comes out. Because I guess there will be bank robberies and whatnot.
So if a robbery happens during the day, is he just like can't do?
Gotta look.
Yeah, gotta get the daytime guy for this one. Gotta get a Golden Eagle or whatever.
I think that's why like the Joker in The Dark Knight hits on such a sweet spot, because that opening robbery, that's during the day. So it's like, well, yeah,
Batman's
I got away
asleep.
with it. It's just kind of like, if I just did this whole crime wave just now at like 3 p.m., the guy ain't got a prayer. Like, he's never going to show up.
Yeah, especially if it's during the summer and it's hot, like really hot out. Like, he's going to sweat too much. That suit is just going to be like, he's going to be dying in there.
Just all those idiotic gangsters. Like, what are we going to do about Batman? It's like, just do your business earlier in the day. You'll be fine.
They haven't worked out the pattern yet. Like, hang on a minute.
But I like meeting in the shadow of night. Like, I do enjoy that too.
But, while Batman is patrolling the streets, Alfred's back at the house folding the sheets.
Yeah.
It's a Batman in the streets and an Alfred in the sheets.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, I enjoy the music throughout this whole sequence, but I really love the somber turn it takes when Bruce looks at Alfred. It gets into a real sort of sinister undercurrent there. And then it actually erupts into one of my favorite beats of music throughout the whole movie, because then we cut to the outside of the fabulous Ritz Gotham. And what they've done then is put on like a ritzy version of the Batman theme from the movie. So it goes from like a really like well done, well composed, serious bit of music to this silly like it's the theme tune, but it's done in like a fancy way because he's going to a fancy party. It's just ridiculous.
I
I'm
do
loving
love
that.
the aesthetics of this moment, though.
Yeah, it's great.
There's this, like, the cobalt blue of all the little usher people that are helping them out. And then there's this lady with that beautiful blue curly, like, almost a fro. And, like, I'm in love with her.
I am obsessed.
Is she one of
with
the
that.
reporters, or she's just an elegant person there?
She's
Is
an
that party
extra.
goer?
Yeah.
Nice. I just want to mention before we move out of the Bat Cave, I love that when Chris O'Donnell walks away, you can hear his leather squeaking audibly.
Yes.
He squeaks,
I
not
love
unlike
that.
a bat, walking away.
Well, and he runs off in like a little tantrum that a little tiny child would have. Like,
Oh, you know he's going up to slam the door in his room. Like, that's totally... And he's going to throw himself in the bed and
he doesn't
for a couple
understand
hours.
me.
But it's a huge mansion, so it's like 3 minutes later, he gets to the top. It's like, hear this little tiny, like, boom.
And then you just see Alfred looming there like Palpatine in the corner. Just good.
If he strikes me down, I will go into his body as well.
That's how
the way it
Alfred
works
keeps
now.
living. The spirit of Alfred moves between bodies.
That's the thing, though. In the outside of the Ritz, though, yeah, because we got this. It's like a nice mishmash of the styles of the previous movies and stuff. Because we've still got like the Joel Schumacher people with crazy hair colors, and the very, very bright and visceral and whatnot. But then at one point we see like there's a lady reporter, and she seems to be wearing like a real like 1940s working woman suit, and they're all got the old style cameras, like the kind of 1930s-ish flash bulb cameras and stuff, which is very Tim Burton-y. Like his like 89 Gotham would have had that. I think now in an age where we have a machine that sucks out brainwaves, they would have updated the cameras a little bit. That's and of course then we got Bruce Wayne been ushered in with the lovely Dr. Chase Meridian here.
And I'm going to say this every minute we see her, right? Chase looks amazing in this
He
outfit.
does.
Like it's such a simple dress, but perfect.
It's such a gorgeous dress.
Doesn't need any fancy crap going on. It's fancy enough.
I love this the subtle thing in that Dick Grayson is also here, and I'm not too sure because like when Bruce is getting up on the steps, he does do an ushering with his head. I'm like, come on, and I think and then it seems like Dick's looking at him. So the indication to me would be like, well, what was the last time Bruce Wayne left Dick Grayson alone in the house? He stole the Batmobile. So I guess it's just like, yeah, you have to come to me to this thing now because I can't leave you alone in the house. Because you're just completely untrustworthy at this point.
Is it normal to take your young ward on a date with someone?
Not to say now, it's like he's flaunting the orphan he's got to the press. Like, look at this kid I've taken in.
I'm such a good guy.
Yeah. Look how
It's like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie going out. Like, he has all the kids with them. Just like, I gotta show, how generous I am.
How many have they got now? Well, I say now, they've split up, haven't they? It was like 6 or 7 or something?
But they still have them, yeah. That's kind of a bummer that I think about it. Like, they had so many adopted children and then their marriage fell apart. It's too bad.
But sometimes people
they've got money, so I'm sure they're doing okay. Their kids are probably
sometimes people
well
think
taken
what's
care
going to
of.
save our marriage? Children. It's like, no, that's not going to save your marriage. That's a terrible, terrible reason to have a child.
I remember hearing too recently that Brad Pitt, because I know there's all the rumors that him and Jennifer Aniston are hooking back up, but then apparently he's also been seen out with Alia Shawkat.
Oh, whoa! What?
Weird.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, so like she's like 20 years younger than him. It's like, I mean, if you want to, that's your thing, but it's just like Alia Shawkat and Brad Pitt. I did not see that one coming.
No.
Weird.
That's very interesting.
That doesn't seem like the kind of person he'd go for. Or maybe that's why it's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I do also love that when Alfred opening the door for Dick and he gets kind of an eye roll and like, thanks, Al. And I can't tell if it's because he's been forced here out of obligation and because Bruce won't leave him alone in the house, or if it's because he's still not used to all the formalities of having a butler to open the door for him, and he's just really like, oh, for God's sake, thanks, Al. Like,
It is a bit awkward when you're in a situation where someone's being like this. I've not had a butler, but whenever someone's being a bit overly generous and nice, and
it's one of the things of like the obligation of like the toilet attendant,
Yes.
when you and you're just like, no, I don't want this. Nobody wants this. But then you have to be polite, so you're just like, I guess I gotta go along with this unnecessary sort of thing. But like, it's it's a real. It's a ritzy formality, I guess. It's like I'll have a bathroom attendant, but it's like I'd really rather not. But
well, you say that, but I went to the actual Ritz in London. When I was there, at least, no bathroom attendant.
Oh, that's how you know it's the fancy Ritz. It's like they leave you to wash your hands yourself.
Oh yeah.
Although I wonder now, though, in the age of Corona, like, are the bathroom attendants, are they in overdrive now? Like, for the love of God, make sure you wash your goddamn hands.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they'll allow them in, because what if they've not washed their hands?
Oh, that's got to be the number one duty of a bathroom attendant. Like, if you got to know everything about washing hands, you got to be an expert.
They do their job remotely now, and they have
just a video screen like, wash your hands, God damn it.
And you hold your hands under like a soap dispenser, and they can click their mouse to dispense the right amount of soap for you.
Exactly.
And then they sing a little song for you. They sing like a 20-second song. You can pick what you can request what song it is, but they're gonna sing it. And you got to wash your hands the whole time. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, if this was the case, right, I wouldn't mind. I'd give them money.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I always give them money anyway because I feel obliged to. Even though they'll try and like give me soap or something, I'm like, no, I'll do it myself. Look, just take the money. Just sit down.
Yeah.
One thing though about having the Ritz Gotham is that this is tying in this Batman to our reality, because the Ritz is a thing. Like, Gotham City doesn't exist. But, like, the Ritz exists. Like, the Ritz is, like, it's obviously a very famous series of hotels coming from, like, Cesar Ritz, founded the first one in Paris in 1898, apparently. But this was the kind of thing that, you remember last year, John, that Daniel Waters was giving out about when, in the first Batman movie, there's no allusions to anything that's actually in our reality. It's completely within its own universe. And then Daniel Waters wrote his draft. And it was just like, yep, everything's completely separate. And then he really, really hated when, we haven't mentioned it at all this season, but for the first time, I'll mention the strict revised draft of Batman Returns.
Whoa.
What? I remember, like, he really bemoaned the fact that there was a joke about Ted Bundy, and there was the mention of the love connection in there. And he's like, you don't bring reality into Batman. You keep these two things separate. So now then, having the Ritz Gotham there, imagine Daniel Waters is having, like, a friggin' brain hemorrhage or something when he sees this. It's like, God damn it, you can't have a Ritz in Gotham. It's a real hotel.
Well, I think you'll find, though, the Gotham Girls roller derby team would argue it's a real place.
Oh,
no, it's not. It's a slang term. But no, that is a real team. Check them out.
But the thing is, of course, the location of the Ritz Gotham is also a real place, because obviously they didn't just build this whole building just for this one shot.
Yes, it's a set. Yes.
No. But this is actually the Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House. And is now home to the George Gustav Hayes Center of the National Museum of the American Indian. So now they'll probably call it the Native American, because
sounds like a place that might go in National Treasure.
Yeah. Everything's connected.
You just looking to watch National Treasure again, Murren? Is that what you're just angling at? It's like,
I mean, it's pretty fun. I stand by it. I don't know about rewatch. I think it's once enough.
I look forward to your podcast, Treasure Cast, maybe.
The outside of this building was featured in many films, and including How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which of course was a Movies by Minute project that me and John participated in. Look at the How to Lose a Guy in 10 episodes, I think it was.
It was, and it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was great.
Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House also features in the Royal Tenenbaums. It was the police HQ in The Amazing Spider-Man and Gotham. It was the GCPD there. It was in Working Girl, so, gotta pay their rent. And, of course, what everyone will actually maybe properly recognize it from is this is the museum from Ghostbusters 2. Whoa. This is where Dana Barrett worked. And as you recall in Ghostbusters 2, that also has crazy shenanigans with the Statue of Liberty. So everything's connected, I guess.
It's a reference.
Yeah. They just had like the defaced Lady Gotham standing over the Ritz Gotham now. Like, yeah, somehow the statue was moving down the street and it broke a hole in the roof and stuff. It was crazy times. That's another movie, though. That's nothing to do with this.
That sounds like it could be a plot of the Batman animated series.
Yeah. It could have been like a side adventure, like, oh, while the events of Batman Forever were happening, I don't know, Clayface took over the Lady Gotham or something.
Back in the minute here as well, I love that Alfred, like the look on his face when he helps Dick out the car. He seems delighted just to be around Dick. Like, he's working him. He's turning him.
Yeah, he's Alfred's always going to be nice. I also think this is because the movie in general is so horny, but I did read it almost a little bit like, oh, my pleasure, sir. Like it looks like he kind of checks him out for a second. But I'm sure that wasn't the intention of Michael Goff.
No.
Wow,
I think he appreciates the fact that, like, oh, this kid doesn't know formalities and stuff. So he's just like, oh, thanks, Al. Like, he's treating him like it's his buddy. And he's just like, why are you opening the door for me and stuff? I think Alfred just appreciates, like, oh, someone who's a bit more of like the working class, basically.
Yeah.
Because he spends all his time amongst this really privileged guy who just it does everything for him. Basically.
He must be so happy just to get one more person in the house. Just like it's not just him and Bruce just sitting at the table and like, what do we have today, sir? Same as last night? Like, okay.
Fishy swaz again?
Yes.
Well, why don't we try heating it up this time, Alfred?
Oh, God. Imagine spending all your time with Bruce. What do? Just sit together and brood while wearing a turtleneck?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're all doing, John. That's what quarantine's all about. So.
Well, yeah, for some of us. Whereas for people like me, I've got to go to bloody work every day and work extra hard.
You sit in your leather wingback chair in your polo neck, John, waiting for the alarm clock, and then you stand up dramatically like Bruce Wayne.
Put on your white pharmacy coat. Actually, I don't know if you wear one of those, but
well, actually, in talking about people who are dressed fancy, though, so we cut to the inside of the Ritz Gotham, and this band, like,
it's like
love them.
Yeah.
Oh, they look fantastic. But is it just me? Okay, as people who are aware that this is a sequel to the 1989 Batman movie.
Yes.
You got guys dressed up in very old-time kind of frock coats, and he's got pantaloons and big...
I can see where you're going with this.
Yeah, big kind of buffanti 80s crazy hair and stuff. Yeah. And they're playing, got the lead person's a person of color who also plays guitar and whatnot, and he's got a kind of multi-gendered backing band. And he's also got a sign behind him that says "The Future." This reminded anybody of a certain pop superstar who was affiliated with Batman back in 1989?
Yes.
No. I had my note is Prince's impact on Batman is still visible.
Yeah.
This is the perfect opportunity to put Prince in your movie.
I don't think he'd be in the movie now. I think he would have been like, that was 6 years ago. Like, I've moved beyond that.
I suppose that, of all people, Prince is probably the one to think that 6 years is an absolute lifetime.
Oh yeah, he's probably like, I've had like 20 albums since then. Yeah. I don't need to go back to Batman.
Batman? What's that?
Yeah. Plus, anyway, the money they would have had to give him too. Like, it would have been. It was worth their while, I think, just to have to evoke the memory of Prince, but rather.
Yeah. Kind of similarly to having this is in the end, but having Dr. Burton show up. It's not actually Tim Burton, but it's like you can tell what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's also just like if you got in Prince's like you want me to stand on stage, you don't want me to write a song. I'm pretty sure he'd be insulted. He's like,
I'd be like,
I'm going to be part of it. I'm going to do everything. So
yeah, but if you could get Prince to do it, you would just go, oh, you want to write a song? Okay, cool, do it.
But then he would probably insist, like, no, I have to write an entire soundtrack. And then he
would
just...
do it!
I don't know, they might have just been like, well, we did that once already. We don't want to just literally do the same thing over again, so...
Well, I mean, something else that's quite Prince-like, though, is this is very sexy music. This is funky.
Yeah, it's a very saxophone led as well there. You got a little bit of that.
But unlike Prince and his multiple bands over the years, these guys... are not playing these instruments.
No.
Yeah, the music is it seems completely detached from the visual of them playing.
There's no way. They're not even making an effort, which makes me think, I mean, there was nothing mentioned in the materials, but it makes me think they changed the music for this scene.
Oh.
Yeah, could be.
Because it doesn't seem to fit at all.
I think it could be maybe there's just like, oh, they're just there for appearance as well. It's like, no, we're not going to risk something going wrong with the sound system, so we're just going to have music piped in, and then these people just to kind of look like they're playing the music.
Just kind of stand there and sway.
Yeah. Now, is Edward Nygma in charge? Is this his party, or is it a different? What is the event?
Oh no, this is the Nygmatech launch.
So that seems like something. That seems like something he'd do. Like he'd be like, we'll just have recorded music. We're not gonna have a live band, but we'll just make it look nice. We'll have people pretending to play instruments. I'd buy him doing that.
Artifice.
Although, if not getting in, Prince, why isn't this Seal? Why isn't it U2?
Exactly.
Why not get any of those guys in?
No, nobody wants to see U2 in a movie, but Seal, come on, yeah.
You've talked about how Bono was almost in this, right?
Not yet, no, we've never brought up within the actual... Yeah, he was supposed... I think he was in talks to play, like, his... What was it called? The character he did on tour? It was like Mephisto.
Yeah, the Zoo TV Mephisto character. Which I feel like now I should have done more research into it so I could do a whole thing, but it's... Yeah, that would have been interesting for sure.
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
He's... in thinking of his performance in Across the Universe, which is... terrible, no other word for it. He's not a great movie performer by any means.
I don't know if I've ever brought this up, but what's always baffled me about U2 is they're one of the biggest bands ever on the planet, but I have never met a fan.
No.
Everyone hates them.
That's very true.
I stand by some like their early 80s stuff. I do enjoy. Joshua Tree is good. Yeah. But what they became it's harder to get behind.
Are they even? Do they still make albums at the moment? I mean, the last thing they did was that one that they gave you for free on like iTunes.
Well, I got this. Wasn't Bono threatening to record a song about the coronavirus?
Oh, I think he's done it.
People were just like, "Dear God, no!"
He can't help himself. He's just got to help the people now.
Just because everyone just running out into the streets and rubbing into each other just to get away from it even faster.
It can't be any worse than the celebrities singing Imagine.
Oh God! But well, that's the thing though. In talking about live bands been on stage inside the Ritz Gotham here, the interior of this is not, in fact, the Alexander Hamilton U.S. Custom House. Which would have been because these guys on stage, they also look kind of like, now Hamilton's a big thing. It looks like they're kind of in the Hamilton costumes and whatnot. But so it could be like if it wasn't Prince they were going for, I guess it would be like a Hamilton thing they were trying to
like a founding father kind of look. Were the founding fathers neon? That's what I want to know.
Well, no one alive back then is here to tell us, John. But I don't think there's any documentation. It would be amazing if they brought up an old parchment that was like, oh, there's something else written on the parchment. Apparently, everyone's covered in neon back in these days.
Yeah, George Washington famous for his neon teeth, and
that's what happened after the Great Depression. It's like that's when America lost all its neon. They just never quite recovered from that. But the inside of the Ritz Gotham is, in fact, the Pantages Theater in L.A., which is a very, very famous movie theater. It was, actually dates back to the Depression. It used to be like a vaudeville place and also showed movies. And then throughout the Depression, just showed movies because there was no vaudeville acts around. Obviously built by Alexander Pantages. And it's also featured in many, many movies. Most notably, L.A. Confidential. Of course, stars Kim Basinger, who's in Batman. Mm-hmm. It's in The Aviator. Big movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, Howard Hughes sing. Put a pin in Howard Hughes. I'm going to be bringing him up in a big way in a couple of weeks. It's also in Ed Wood. Of course, Tim Burton movie. The season 1 finale of Glow was filmed in the Pantages Theater.
Oh, nice.
Oh, whoa. Holy crap.
And in talking about bands, the movie Stop Making Sense with the Talking Heads, the seminal concert film. That was filmed in the Pantages Theater. So there you go. It's where Edward Nygma is standing could well have been where David Byrne was performing Psycho Killer at the beginning of that movie.
Could be. He just puts down a little tape recorder,
Oh, that'd be amazing if that was what he actually did. He came out and he was just like, I got a tape I want to play. And then the band behind them, they're just standing like badly miming to like this random music. The Jim Carrey's just standing with a boombox playing. Like, pretty good, huh?
Now I'm upset that David Byrne didn't do a Batman soundtrack.
Oh, man.
That would have been cool.
If there's going to be a million more Batman movies, he's still around. Maybe.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. But now
There's
they got to
still
be
time.
gritty and real.
Hey, I mean, he can do gritty and real. It's like, by all means.
I feel
I don't
like
think
David
gritty
Byrne
and
has kind of
real
gone in the
movies help.
opposite direction of that, though. Especially like he's become much more kind of soft and gentle in recent years.
Yeah.
This is going to be like, I don't know, if Batman needed any kind of tribal rhythms and whatnot and a little bit of funk. Yeah, that's when you get your David Byrne in.
Yeah.
He's like, of course
I guess
I'll do that.
You could just use Psycho Killer. It's that wouldn't be that far off.
But yeah, so then we do get the sort of big shot of the interior here. We got this big giant box fountain thingamajig.
Yeah, Canto Bite here in full effect.
Yeah, and that's the end of the minute, isn't it? That's just the sort of establishing shot. Is there something else after that I'm forgetting?
No, that's it. I mean, the Goldsman draft has a little bit extra on the outside of the building between Bruce and Al, as I'm now calling him because I'm disrespectful.
But you can call him Al.
You can.
You always have
can,
permission.
indeed. But Bruce says, too much wealth, too fast. Half of Gotham's zombied out. A technology that self-destructs. He's protecting more than industrial secrets, Alfred. So he's on to Nigma. And then Alfred responds with, I shall be near at hand, should you need me. And sir, I know it's difficult, but try to have a good time.
Oh.
It's like, Bruce has just revealed that he thinks this guy's a crook. It's like, you're not going to have a good time, really, are you?
Yeah, he's working here. He's not just going to a fun party. He's here to work.
He's on the job.
But the thing is, again, much like everything they cut out of this movie, that should have been there.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's Bruce Wayne actively acknowledging that half the city is zombified. Like the box is having a detrimental effect.
Yeah.
Like that's what we've been saying the whole show. Is like, why isn't there any more mention of like how it's damaging people's brains or like it's actually doing something that seems like a more of a immediate threat? Bruce Wayne's like kind of got his hairs riled, going like, I don't know, just half the city's zombified and stuff. It seems like that would be something you'd like to know that's in. But he seems to be playing it so cool when he goes in, almost as if he's just like, whatever.
Well, that brings up a question for our illustrious guests here. What do you two make of the whole plot with the box, right? Because we've noticed there's a lot of problems with this plot.
Yeah. It did seem a little bit hastily thrown in there.
Yeah.
The way it kind of plays off in the film is like, there needs to, the villains have to have a plan, so I guess it's this.
This thing, yeah.
And yeah, you never. One thing that struck me earlier on when with the Ed Begley Jr. scene is that I thought that when he sucked out his brainwaves, it would make him stupid. Like he was like, okay,
exactly.
But like he seems like he's just kind of the same. He's just like, oh, what happened? What did you do to me? Like he's just kind of. So it would have been interesting to have that. That would have been a lot scarier if people were like losing brain cells to this. And we do, but you never really see that. It would have been interesting to see people wandering around Gotham like zombies.
Yeah, there's no detrimental effect really to the box, to the people he's using it on.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
so if it made people stupid and it gave him all this knowledge, that's scary.
Yeah, well, the news report says like it seems to be turning people into zombies, but Nigma says otherwise. That's the only time where it really even comes close to that. It doesn't really seem to have an effect. Besides that,
which, if anything, sort of confirms that Nigma saying otherwise that's correct because the evidence is it's not doing a damn thing.
It doesn't seem to. And I guess the idea is that he will become smarter, but if he's already smart enough to build the machine, and then like why does he really need to be? And he's already smart enough to like hoodwink the whole city into buying his technology. Like what more does he need?
Well, this is something we noticed as well. It keeps going on about how it makes him smarter. But if you actually sort of really pay attention to some of the lines that he uses, you discover that it's not making him smarter.
No, that doesn't seem to do. Yeah, he's not really changing anything in his performance or character either.
No. Absolutely nothing. But what it's doing is it's giving him information that they have, like their bank account details.
I guess, yeah.
But
so
that's
he
even
has...
worse. Because he's made this, like, wildly successhis product. He's making millions. I don't think he needs these bank accounts.
his end game is just to become a very successful technology businessman. Like he's done it. He's rich now.
He's won. He's beaten Bruce.
Yeah, he's. But yeah, I guess they just need to have another thing that they throw in there.
I think it needs to be like at the end, instead of like, oh, bank codes and whatnot, he's like, I've got nuclear launch codes. I've got everything. I could control this country. I could control the world with the knowledge I have. But it's more like, I could go out and steal like the $200 that some random Joe Sixpack has in his bank account.
That's literally it. I could take out a mortgage in your name. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
bad,
would be interesting if he was targeting specific people, like the president or the Secretary of Defense, like to get like important information. But it's just kind of like general population people watching, people who watch TV every night.
Yeah,
everything in this movie, the seeds of something great are there, and they don't fully sort of sprout.
Yeah,
it does seem to give him better outfits as the movie goes on.
That is true. He does enhances his sense of haute couture at least.
Yes. He has some choice.
But yeah, I'm all noted out for this minute. If folks are ready to roll,
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All tapped out. We'll do plugs again at the end of the week. Screw it. Go and enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day, as the kids say. I'm an old man. I don't know. I'm not young anymore. Apparently, that's what they say. So go and enjoy it. Have a drink. Eat. I was going to say eat a bat, but that's actually something you shouldn't be doing.
Dude, never do that.
Never
got us into this mess.
No one for the rest of humanity ever eat a bat again.
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, Jim Carrey has a connection to that in a way, because in Ace Ventura 2, he accidentally eats from the bowl. Is it the bowl made of guano, or is it food that is guano?
Oh, I can't remember. It's not long since I've seen it.
I feel like it's a bowl.
Is it a bowl made of guano? See, I don't know. I don't even remember. It's Ace Ventura, so it wouldn't surprise me if he was just eating bat droppings.
Yeah.
I think it must be, because like a bowl made of guano wouldn't be that big a deal. Because like back in the day, they used to make like...
Oh, like it was made of guano. Yeah. If it had guano in it. Yeah. It has to be the latter.
We used to get like notebooks that were made out of like... They always said in the bottom, it's like it's made from like processed rhinoceros dung and all this kind of thing. Because it was supposed to be like...
Wow. Maybe in
eco-friendly.
Ireland.
Yeah, that was just the thing. Is people were like, oh, did you know that this cardboard is actually made of dung and stuff? Like you would never tell because it just looked like cardboard and stuff. But so then Ace Ventura freaking out over like eating out of a bowl made from bat poo. It's like I'm sure they know what they're doing. Like,
he hates bats. That's the whole premise of that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody, go and enjoy your guano, and we will see you again on Friday for more Bat Minute Forever.
Next time, an enigmatic gala. An insidious psycho soiree is underway, and there's no keeping the press and sycophants at bay. But while a mall checks the mole of a murderous millionaire simulacrum, will the arrival of his rival leave reporters even more stunned? Find out Friday. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da.